Hello there, fifth graders. Welcome to your next math lesson. And give me 1 second, I just have to grab a piece of paper. And I'm back. Sorry about that. At the top of the next available page in your math notebook, please write the title of today's lesson, which is Chapter 2 Review. So we're going to review the most important parts of Chapter 2 today. Now, Chapter 2 was all about multiplying, and it was mainly about multiplying one-digit numbers by two or three-digit numbers and two-digit numbers by two or three-digit numbers. So for our first example, let's write 47 times 6. Now, before we get started on this, let's remember that when we're multiplying two numbers together, both of the numbers being multiplied are called factors. So here 47 is a factor and 6 is a factor, and the answer to a multiplication problem is called the product. So it's factor times factor equals product. But how do we actually find that product? Here's how. We start by multiplying the number on bottom by the ones place of the number on top. So it's 6 times 7 equals 42. We can't fit 42 in the ones place here, so we carry the 4 up above the tens place. Then we multiply that 6 by the tens place on top. 6 times 4 is 24, and we add that 4 that we carried, and we get 28. And that's the answer. So that's a one-digit number multiplied by a two-digit number. And multiplying it by a three-digit number or a four-digit number or a five-digit number, you do it the same way. You just multiply it by each of the numbers on top, regrouping as necessary. Let's just do one more example like that. Let's do 352 times 7. So first we do the number on bottom times the ones place on top. 7 times 2 is 14. You carry the 1. The 4 goes right here. Then you do 7 times 5, and you add that 1 to the answer to 7 times 5. So 7 times 5 is 35, plus that 1 is 36. That 3 gets carried up above the hundreds place. Then we do, what's this? Get out of here. There. Then we do 7 times 3 is 21. We add that 3, and we get 24. And that's the answer, 2,464. Okay, so that's multiplying a two or three-digit number by a one-digit number. What about multiplying a two-digit number by a two-digit number? Let's do 73 times 38. Okay, so here you start by multiplying the ones place on bottom by the ones place on top. And 8 times 3 is 24. 24. We carry the 2 above the tens place, and the 4 goes right here. Then we do 8 times 7, that's 56. We add the 2, 56, 57, 58. So 58. Now we move on to the second number and multiply it by the ones place on top and then by the tens place on top. But first there's two really important things we have to do. We have to erase or scratch out what we already carried so we don't get confused and accidentally add it in again. And we have to add a placeholder. That part's really important. Before you move on to the second number, you have to put a placeholder right there. Now we do 3 times 3, and that's 9. Then we do 3 times 7, and that's 21. And now notice we have two answers down here because we multiplied 73 times 8, and then we multiplied 73 times 3. Of course, we were actually multiplying by 30. That's why we had to put that placeholder there, because we pretended like we were multiplying by 3, but we were actually multiplying by 30 because that's a 3 in the tens place. So that's the purpose of that placeholder. So we have two answers, again, because it's 73 times 8 and then 73 times 30. So what do? We add, those are both partial products, part of the total product, so we add those partial products together. 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 9 is 17. Carry the 1. And then 5 plus 1 plus 1 is 7. And 2 plus nothing is 2. So the answer is 2,774. Let's do one more example. This time let's do a 4-digit number on top by a 2-digit number on bottom. So basically you just take the ones place and the ones place of the number that's on the bottom, and you multiply it by the ones place, then the tens place, then the hundreds place, then the thousands place. Then you put your placeholder, then you take the tens place number and you multiply it by the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place, and the thousands place. Then you have two answers and you add those two answers together at the end to get your final answer. So we start with 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. 28. Then we do 7 times 3. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus the 2 is 23. 23. Then we do 7 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. Plus the 2 is 37. 37. Then 7 times 2 is 14. Plus the 3 is 17. Okay, now our two really important steps. We erase what we carried and we put our placeholder. Now we move on to the tens place number. 6 times 4, 24. Then we do 6 times 3 is 18 plus 2 is 20. Then we do 6 times 5 is 30 plus 2 is 32. Then we do 6 times 2 is 12 plus 3 is 15. And now, just like we did here, we have two answers. They're partial products, and we add those two partial products together to get our full product. 8 plus 0 is 8. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 0 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. 1 plus 5 is 6. And 1 plus nothing is 1. Ones place, tens place, hundreds place, comma. So the answer is 169,778. Okay, so that's how you multiply a one-digit number by a two-digit number, a one-digit number by a three-digit number, a two-digit number by a two-digit number, or a two-digit number by a three- or four-digit number. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope it was a good review for you. Go ahead and do your best on the assessment attached below this lesson. I will catch you next time. Mr. Dauber signing off.